What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today Nioh. Long ago in ancient Japan, the land was often covered in blood. As clans fought against each other for power, territory, and honor, a new threat emerged. Demons have begun to show up in the realm, laying out their own path of murder and mayhem. In the middle of this terrible war, a hero named William arrives alone in this country with a quest. His mission is to track down a stolen guardian spirit, and he's gonna kill anyone or anything that gets in his way. In recent years, developers have started experimenting with ultra-difficult styles of gameplay. Titles like Dark Souls or Lords of the Fallen essentially invented their own genre of slower, more careful combat mixed together with amazing bosses. Nioh certainly walks in these footsteps, and yet manages to make itself unique due to its shockingly deep sword-fighting mechanics. At no point during any battle can you ever relax, because with just a slightly wrong swing of your blade, you might die. Thankfully, William is very well trained in the art of the samurai, giving us lots of options on how to handle the threats around us. We have 5 different weapon classes to master, each with a variety of strengths and weaknesses. As an example, let's focus on dual-wielding short swords. This was personally my favorite way to fight because it allowed for clean, quick bursts of damage. By getting in close, I could dish out a flurry of hits before rolling away or blocking their counterattack. Rather than having just simple light or hard strikes, Nioh has the added element of stances. While in combat, you can switch between a high stance for extra power at the cost of less defense, mid stance which is evenly balanced, and low stance, a pose that gives us weaker hits but allows for almost instant dodging. You'll need to practice all these styles heavily to figure out when they're most useful. If you're confronted with a demon who's close to the ground, it's probably a good idea to click into high stance and take him out with the fewest swipes possible. On the other hand, if you stumble on a new type of monster for the first time, it's safest to go low stance so you can learn his patterns and run if necessary. You also need to keep in mind your stamina. This green meter determines how many moves you can pull off in a row, so watch it carefully. If you let it fully empty, our character is forced to catch his breath, leaving him open to terrifying blows. This might all seem a bit overwhelming, but Nioh introduces these facets of gameplay one at a time, allowing us plenty of chances to learn things on our own. By the time I left the starting area, I knew how to chop off a man's head with an axe, how to snipe someone with an arrow, and how good it can feel to slay a deadly beast. In the same way Dark Souls and Bloodborne just drop you to a map and leave you to explore, this game doesn't give us much direction. Rarely do you see a signpost or an obvious place to go. Instead, we just wander around, avoiding traps and gathering experience points until we find the next boss. Rather than leveling up automatically, defeating foes gives you a form of money called Amarita. When we take this back to a shrine, we can spend it to increase our stats. This means you can upgrade your health, attack, and how strong your magic is. Since these events are happening in a mystical version of Japan, of course we get some awesome spells on top of the already epic sword fighting. There's a wide range of ninjutsu that lets you do anything from covering your weapons in flames to dropping spikes on the floor to further dominate the battlefield. The further you progress through the story, the more layers of complexity are thrown into the combat, especially as we begin to fill out the skill tree. By using a particular blade class, you earn talents that let you unlock more attacks for the various stances, like a kick that can be done at the end of any combo to stun opponents. These added abilities are extremely vital, so much so that I think it's mandatory that you do at least an hour of backtracking in most zones just to ensure that you pick up enough power to handle the next boss. Every chapter of Nioh concludes with a massive demon encounter, each one completely one of a kind. I love that these final challenging enemies behave unlike any other creatures in the game because it really builds up a sense that these are otherworldly beings who have never fought humans before and thus see us as nothing beyond silly toys to play with. Matching the strength of these oversized foes is going to take planning, a few deaths, and a little bit of luck to finish, and yet each one still manages to be totally fair. These boss battles really sum up what makes Nioh so fantastic. Switching between stances, chugging health potions, and praying you dodge the next hit almost becomes an art form. The combat is positively brilliant, and the fact that they blend it together with such interesting mythology makes it a project that absolutely everyone should try. The only small complaint I have is that I wish the maps had a little more creative design occasionally. It was far too easy to get lost in a burning city when every house looks exactly the same. Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's head over to the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving Nioh a 9.5 out of 10. This game is a perfect example of a title that took inspiration from another project and ran with it to make something truly superb. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I seriously died like 900 times making this review. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. 900 times. It was awful. It was great, but Jesus Christ, I'm bad at this. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.